Hey there, bestie. I'm Lori Emi, your What to Read Next podcast host. Join me as we dive into exciting new reads that'll have you reaching for your TBR pile in no time. From group of mysteries to spicy romances, we'll explore it all and help you find your next favorite book. So grab a cup of tea, cozy it up, and let's discover some amazing reads together. Hi, Jackie. Welcome to What to Read Next podcast.
Hi, Laura. I'm so excited to be here.
I am so excited to chat with you. So for listeners, Jackie and I, we've known each other for quite some time. We were both new friends. We actually met at a fitness studio, like a fitness class, a long time ago. Then we were still in touch. It's one of the New York communities with my artist friend, my Broadway theater loving, Levain Bakery. God, get me all the gossip, get me all the good stuff on New York. So, and we tour also. So you're like a jack of all trades, which I love. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello. So my name's Jackie Ostick, and I'm a jack of all trades, a Jackie of all trades, if you will. I'm an actor. I work at Levain Bakery. I'm one of the trainers there, and I also help out with their social media a little bit, which has been really fun. And then I'm also a food tour guide with Foods of New York Tours. So I take people around to different downtown New York neighborhoods and show them good places to eat and tell them really fun stories. So all these things that I do, I really love because I get to like build community and tell stories and just make people happy. It's awesome.
And you do make people happy. So first of all, we got to talk about Levain, because they're expanding and they actually have offerings in their home. So talk to us about what is the box cookies and why you should actually try them. I know they're
my gosh,
not good there, but
yes. So Levain cookies are these 6-ounce cookies. They look like hockey puck, essentially. And it was like the first big cookie mound cookie, if you will. So the one that started the whole business was the chocolate chip walnut cookie. And then we have everything from like Rocky Road. We have a caramel coconut chocolate chip. We have oatmeal raisin. At one point, we had a lemon cookie for anyone that didn't like chocolate. So like, there's just a lot of different offerings. And then we also make bread and we do pastries. But cookies are really like what put the company on the map.
And the cookies are to die for. And there's plenty of offerings. I remember doing the line at the original one, which is basically this whole the wall, literally on 74th Street, like just side street, you can barely walk, and you just like make a line just to get those cookies. It's fresh I'm sorry. Yes.
It's the one that I'm at right now. Like I still work there, and it's crazy. Like you just like walk down this step and it is a tiny space. And now we have 13 other locations, and all those other locations are huge and like bright and shiny, but like there's something really special about our little, hole in the wall, dingy old bakery. It's really special.
We love it. So very exciting. Sadly, you guys open up in Chicago after a lot. So
I know.
I did get the animal ones. They sold them at Foxtrot, which if you're in Chicago, you know. Foxtrot is this like high-end, like, it's supposed to be like a bodega, but like really high-end. Like things are like very expensive. And so that's the only place that I found Levain cookies in the middle of clothing. I was like, well, I need to try them. And they're good. They're just like not the same. Like if there's something to be said about going to the bakery and having them fresh out the oven and just talking to people and do all this stuff. But it was like a good place to go.
Yes, they do well in a pinch if you can't get to one of the actual bakeries. Yes. Yeah.
So let's talk about your reading life, because I actually been following you. We've been friends for a while. We talk about other things, but I've been following you on Instagram, and you've been sharing a little bit. You start sharing going back to reading, audiobooks reading, and different things. And so it's been fun to see, like, how did you get started again? Like, what was the process? Or were you always a reader and just like, now decided to post it? Or was it something like, got engaged, like found something else and you're like, oh my gosh, this is like something.
Yes. That's such a great question. I always loved to read. And I want to give a shout out. Mrs. Block, my third grade teacher, was just crucial in getting me to love reading. I don't know how she did it, but somehow she like got me really into being transported by books, right? And then, of course, like you grow up, you go to college, you become an adult, and it's like, okay, it's hard to read for fun. And I was one of those people that I would read a book and get really excited about it and then voraciously read a bunch. And then I would fall off the wagon and not read for months at a time. And last year, or actually a couple years before that, I was like, okay, we're going to try to read more. And again, it would be the same thing where I would read one book and kind of get hooked and then lose it after a couple of books. And last year I said, okay, we're going to do this. This is my New Year's resolution. I said, we're going to do 12 books this year, one book a month. Like that should be doable. And then somehow I like over vacation in the summer, I read like 3 books in 1 week and I hit that 12-book goal. And I was like, okay, I'm going to keep going. And then this year I went to set up a goal. I was like, okay, we're going to try to like hit the same books that I read last year. I'm not going to like try too much harder because I don't want to, jinx myself. And now I'm already like past that goal. And so I'm hoping to get more as the year goes on. And it's been really fun to do this. I feel like it's a better use of my time. I'm really trying to not do the doom scroll. It's so easy to do that. And actually, I think probably that's why I like audiobooks, because then I can still scroll a little bit, which I'd be cheating.
I do this all the time, but I found, what's my favorite thing to scroll? I go to Libby and then I scroll through book ideas. That helps you with scrolling. Because sometimes stories you want to listen to audio and I want to listen to audio and so I scroll through Libby. That's like I go book shopping.
Yes. And like Libby's the best. And I also discovered that Spotify if you have Spotify Premium, you get 15 hours of listening. And it's just like $3. Like, what? Great.
Yeah. Yes. How do you consume your books? So you're consuming audiobooks or you're consuming books like paperback, ebook? Like, how are you consuming them? Like, tell us a little about that.
I do both. Last year, I was doing much more paperback books and physically reading books. And then I was also doing ebook on my phone. And then last summer, I was like, okay, I'm going to get a Kindle because I just heard that how good they were. I had a Kindle Fire, but I wanted like the actual Kindle because then it wouldn't have a glare. Also, I was trying to get away from like the screen. Do you know what I mean? I know it's a different kind of screen, but I wanted something that was just for reading. So I bought that. So I definitely read all of my fiction books on the Kindle. And then I could not believe this. So last year there's this really wonderful shop on Long Beach Island in New Jersey called the Dune Market. And it's a small, like they say, coastal living shop, but then they also have a bookshop associated with it in their store. And they have a partnership with Libro FM. And I was like, okay, this is an easy way for me to support this business. So I started getting audiobooks. And I wasn't really sure about them because I just would get distracted. But then I got, what's her name? The Duggar sister. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know which one. The Duggar. It's one of the J's.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's going to come to me. I got her book, Counting the Cost.
Yeah.
Jill Duggar. I got Jill Duggar's book, Counting the Cost. And I remember being on the train listening to it. And I was like, I love this. One, because I just love getting like the inside scoop. Like, if you're going to tell me you're going to give me a behind the scenes story, like I'm all about it. So I realized that I loved listening to memoirs and, autobiographies and nonfiction on audiobook. And then I like to read fiction.
Did you read South Like a Quote? Did you listen to that one?
No, wait, which one is that?
It's Amanda Montell's nonfiction. It's about cultures, but here's the thing. She talks about intensity, which for listeners, you don't know, but this is how we met. We met at a fitness class called Intensity, where we used to say affirmations, do aerobics and stuff. And so it actually doesn't called, she says it's a positive quote. So she actually got to meet Patricia and she actually got enjoying the class and enjoy stuff. But it's actually featured in that book. And I remember listening to it, I was like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
That's
gosh.
that should be your next like audiobook. But she actually has really, she does narrates both of her books. She's like, she has Sounds Like a Cold and then The Art of Magical Thinking. And it's both are excellent books. I think you'll like them. They're like a different, pop culture, like New York, LA, kind of like the vibes, and you're like, we know. So
Oh, I'm so there. I'm downloading it as soon as we get off this call. I I love like true crime,
yeah,
dark, like cult, like give me all of the juice. And that's why I loved Jill Dutter's book, because I just could not believe that she was sharing all of this, because I was curious. I wanted to know more about what that was like. We just got all the bright, shiny people, if you will, like that documentary said. But I was like, there's more to the story. And then she gave it to us. It's all the tea. It's so good.
I am adding that one. So you share one recommendation, I share my own recommendation. I think we're good to go. And did you listen to Jessica Simpson's memoir?
No, I need that's on my list.
Okay, so that one is a must listen. It's the one I tell everyone's like, you need to start to audiobooks. And you're like, I don't like audiobooks. I'm like, no, you need to listen to Jessica. First of all, even if you don't like Jessica, if you don't have no idea you're Jessica because you're Gen Z or Gen Alpha and you're like, who the fuck is this girl? Jessica was very important. She was real in your life. And so Jessica spills a tea about John Mayer and Nick Lachey. Like, she spills the gossip. Like, it is so good. She narrates it. She does such a great job that it's just like, yeah, at the end of the day, you're going to be like, my BFF Jessica told me so and so. So,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm pumped. I can't wait to listen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay.
She's
Yes.
about the gossip. Because you gotta love when it's like gossip. Tell me about the gossip. Like, like what is it going on? So you listen to Brittany. I didn't listen to the whole thing because it was too dark for me. But I listened to the first half of it, and when she spells out Justin Timberlake style, and I was like, yes, girl, yes.
It was so good. Now, I read that one on Kindle because I wanted to hear it in her voice. And I was like, Michelle Williams can't do that one. Like, no, it has to be Britney's like vocal fried voice. Like, that's what I need to hear. So, but that book was, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I listened to I Wish My Mother Was Dead. Janine McCurdy's. That one is hard. Like
That's hard.
That's a really hard one to listen to. She does go.
That was the second one I listened to, and I was like, this is really good. Oh, that was heartbreaking though. Oh my gosh.
Heartbreaking. Like, it's just, I was like, I wish her all the best, and so glad she got success right now. Financial freedom and all those different things, and just personal freedom. But it's still was a hard line. I stay like, but other like harder ones, like I listened to Emma Landers. Like, I think it's like Kate Hunt. It's about Emmeline. I think you like true crime. Like, Emmeline was like another like kind of like at descent one. That might be, so it's about like a former son, a former boss babe. Where can you go?
Oh, I'm so there. Oh, I'm also downloading that one. I listened to my friend Anna about Anna Delvey.
No.
I loved that one.
No. I'm like, just like these kind of like, white collar nonfiction, giving you the quotes, I don't like, I personally don't like to hear a lot of grisly murders, like the actual gore and stuff, but like pretty much not. I'm not scared. We still want to have that because I have PTSD. But I appreciate anything else that's non-related to that, like all the other aspects of it. So white collar might go to. Oh, the Philanas. Did you read the Bad Blood?
No.
Oh, that's an Elizabeth Holmes one. It's about like the rise and fall of the Uranus. It's actually really good. There's podcasts, there's plenty of content out there, but the book itself, it's a pretty good book to read. I haven't seen anything scary, so it's probably a good book to listen to. It's called Bad Blood.
Oh, okay. Adding that one. Oh, good. I have a list now. Yay, I'm excited.
All right. So it's sort of like, look, because you're talking about chick lit, which I actually love. It is what I fell in love with when I graduated from Chiba High and moved on to chick lit of the Chi Problem. So, and I think you mentioned one of my favorite chick lits of all time. So, talk to them about what do you love about the genre, what have you enjoyed, and why we should go back to chick lit.
Oh, it is my absolute favorite genre. I have no I'm not embarrassed to say it. It is like my go-to. People are like, what do you like to read? And some people are like, oh, I like to read history. I like to read science fiction. I'm like, no, give me all the chick lit. And I think what I love about it is that I love like just seeing fierce, powerful women kind of like go through life. I love I love kind of romanticizing like that fabulous city life or fabulous, New England life, whatever it is. I just find it really exciting. And then, there are these love stories and just like the way that these authors write them, I'm like, oh, this is magical. Like to me, they're just so fun and they're really good. Like there have been books that have made me cry. There have been books that have surprised me. There have been books that have like made me blush because they're like a little, they get a little racy. And it's just fun. And like for me, I want to read as entertainment. Like if I'm not going to turn on The Real Housewives or like Law and Order SVU or like something like on TV, if I want to read a book, like I want to be entertained. And chick lit really entertained me.
Well, and pull us out some book recommendations. What books do you recommend us to start thinking?
Okay. My number one that I just told a friend about actually, because she had never heard of it, is Emily Giffen's Something Borrowed.
Yeah.
And Something Blue is the sequel. I discovered that book. Her new book is coming out tomorrow. And I love Emily Giffen. And the way I discovered her was on the Today Show. It was like when I had like within my first couple of years in New York, I was watched the Today Show and she was on to promote her fourth book or fifth book, excuse me. But they were starting to film the movie of Something Borrowed. And I was like, yes. And I was like, this sounds so good. And I went to Barnes and Noble and I read the first chapter. And in the first chapter, like there's already a bomb. Like you already get like this like huge surprise. And I was like, this is amazing. And I read that book. And then I went to the Strand immediately after that and bought her next 3 books and read those in like a week. What I mean about my like
Okay,
little like
what Barnes Noble do you got you? Union Square, Upper West Side, or the one with Black
that.
Erica? Because it's like 2008, 2009. I remember
Yeah,
nobody like the signs were all like so excited.
I know. I was at the Tribeca Barnes
Oh,
Noble
that
because
was Barnes and Noble club.
I know.
Yeah.
It was the best. It was the best. And I would go there before work and I worked at an after school program down the street and I would go and I was just, oh my gosh, I went there and I was like, I have to buy this book. And I could not get over it. And she is my favorite author. I just adore her and I adore all of her books and I read them in a matter of like days,
Yeah.
hours, and I've read them all multiple times because I just can't get enough of them. And so she is like my favorite by far. I also would be remiss not to say, so I think my favorite book right now of all time was Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read that end of last year, maybe. And this was in my new like reading era, if you will, that I was reading this. And that book, I've heard the hype. Everyone's like, it's so good. It's so good. Believe the hype. Believe the hype. It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. I just loved it. I just loved it. I also love Emily Henry's books. Funny Story is her new one. I really enjoyed that one. I also love Colleen Hoover. I loved this. It Ends with Us and It Starts with Us. Those books are heartbreaking, but really good. So those are favorite. What else? Oh, I just got into Carly Fortune books as well.
I love Carly. Carly, the friend of the podcast. Like I love
Carly, be my friend.
So awesome. Like we've been talking. She came this year. So Rich Watkins is like her debut. Like there's like a whole this every summer after. I love her second book. I know people don't love the second book, but I love the second book so much. And I
Oh,
love
I'm
her.
reading.
It's so good. The Prince Edward Island. I'm like I just
Yeah.
the other day.
Yep. I just read that one, the newest one. And right now I'm reading Every Summer After. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And then I like Anna Monaghan's books as
I know
well.
another one. It's
Yes.
like so good. Their summer romance is delightful. Like I just like perfect. I feel like Annabelle Monaghan is like the next. I told her I was like, you're like the next Ellen for me. Like you're like
Yes.
summer books that I just need to read about the pool. You're like older ignorance, messy life, but like there's like heart with it, and you're rooting for them to like go for it.
Oh yeah. I was laughing because I told a friend about it where like I was on the train reading that book and like a big reveal happened. And in the book, the character went, and I said, and I went, I could not get over it. And then I had to get off the train. And I was like, are you kidding me? I have to stop.
Yes. Oh, I don't know. Like, yeah, like those are like my go-to, like beachy. I'm like, she just needs to keep giving me more books, more books, more books.
Mhm. Oh, and then one other that I didn't even think about that I read a long time ago. So Ellen Hildebrand's book, Silver Girl, it's an older one of hers. So I got that book when I was like on tour years ago because she mentioned my high school in it. Like somehow my high school was like where the characters went to high school years ago.
Yeah.
So like I guess they like promoted it on my high school's Instagram page or whatever. And I was like, oh, I want to read this. That's another like white collar crime book that I loved. I need to read that one again.
Yes. I read her Winter Paradise, I think it is. Her St. John's books are like set in holiday in St. John's. And as someone who grew up in Puerto Rico, like holidays were like warm and like fun and beachy. I felt that it was like right at home and it was delightful. The whole trilogy was such good.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So I do have another recommendation I wanted to call you. I think you'll enjoy it because it's a memoir, but it's a memoir, but it's a 4-year-old memoir. So I'm mostly here to enjoy myself. So Glynis is 40 something, living Claret in New York City, and decided to go to Paris. She's been going to Paris every year for the past 5 years after a month in Paris. And this is like the idea of being in your 40s, which is a little bit older than us. But it's the idea of like not having an exciting incident, but like enjoying yourself, like having pleasure and having just like fun and friendship
Mhm.
and joy. And it's like idea of like, sometimes because when we come like Chickman, we're like, we want like the struggle, but sometimes you don't need the struggle. Sometimes you just need the vibes. And like this is like vibes in Paris for a New Yorker who loves New York and doesn't want to get out of New York. No, same vibe of like not someone who's I think we both come from the idea of like we're not having traditional doc. We're not like doing like the career aspect of like you're gonna do them. Like we're just kind of like this multifaceted, multi-passion, have
Mhm.
this like hodgepodge of friendships and hodgepodge of opportunities and going for it. And so that book actually I think you'll appreciate. I listened to it. It's like a really great audiobook. She does narrate.
Oh,
Just get transported to Paris for a month.
oh, that sounds delightful. Oh,
Yes. So Jackie, what is your current obsession? Because actually, that's the main question I wanted to ask you. What is your current obsession?
oh, my current obsession right now is the Limit Fit, which is a fitness studio here in New York. My friend Beth Nicely, who I took tap class with for like 6 years. She's an incredible Broadway performer, former Rockette. She started a fitness business during COVID and it's like a mixture of dance cardio, plyometrics, strength training. And I started taking her classes like consistently in the summer of 2022, and I
Mhm.
haven't looked back. And honestly, like I think one of the biggest things is like if someone says like hello to me in a class and then says like, yeah, Jackie, you got it. Like, sign me up. Like, bought the membership, joined the on demand. Like I was hooked. and I keep showing up. And it's just a really great community. The class is super fun. And what I love about it is that I was super intimidated when I first heard about it because I was like, everyone's like doing burpees and like jumping on boxes and like over things and like doing all this stuff. I was like, that's not for me. But there's no prerequisite to join. Like you just show up and do the best you can. And it's just really welcoming and nurturing. And it's honestly incredible to see the strides that I've taken just from showing up.
Yeah.
It's the best.
And you have found community too, which is like the most amazing thing. Because I think sometimes we get intimidated by starting a fitness journey. Like we met in a fitness class, so that's what we.
Mhm.
But the idea, like I go to fitness not just because I like the class and stuff like that. I like the community aspect. I like the fact that not only I can challenge myself to do something that I don't really want to do, but I love the fact that there's like a community aspect in that of like other people who are struggling. And they're torturing us. Like I remember the days where Aaron was torturing us and it was like, "Wow, I really don't want to be here." But you know what? I was like, "Go job, good job. Let's just keep doing." And you're like, "Okay, we're all sweating together, we're all struggling together, we're all gonna get through this together, and then we're gonna be fine with those endorphins." And so I love to be a kind of community here, and I love watching your stories and love watching sharing all the different accomplishments, and it's exciting.
It's really, and it's the most supportive thing that I've had in a long time. We were talking about this fitness class that we met in, and then like Intensati as well. And I loved that, and I had like an obsession with that back in those days too. And then it kind of like went by the wayside, and like I think I always really wanted that fitness community because again, it's like another group of friends to have and it's people to show up with. And it's fun to like be there and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're going to do this. Like, here we go. Let's do it. I take this 7 a.m. box class where we jump on Pilates boxes. And it's just like, it's absolute torture, but it's so much fun, but it's torture. And like, we just laugh in the back. And we're like, what the heck are we doing? Like, what is this? But you know what? There's like this like feeling of like accomplishment. It's like, okay, like I did that, I showed up today and it feels really good. I also love the music. It's great music that they have.
And
Yeah.
that's the one thing, I go to Pure Bar now, which I love our Pure Bar studio. It's great. It's one reason why I stayed in the neighborhood and stuff. But the music is not the same. Like I miss having like it. Sometimes like great music and the cue off, it's like it takes you to the next level. Like Pilsen does like the music and like they're just like good music just to get me going. But like I'm like it's one thing I'm like, come on, get it together. Like give us some stuff. Like college girls, because most of the teachers are college students. And I'm like, can we do some like music, some millennial stuff, some stuff and like give me some Britney every so often. Take me to that next level.
It's the best. Do you remember that movie Save the Last Dance?
Yes.
Okay. That song's like, you can do it, put your back into it. That song. One day our teacher played that and me and my friend, we were like on either side of the room and we both went and like freaked out. And I was like, this is the best. Like it was, we still talk about that. Like when she put that on, we all went absolutely feral. It was amazing. I mean, and like it makes it fun, So I love that. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Check it out. It's available on Zoom, on demand, in person in New York. Beth and her team are like the absolute best. It's really supportive, super fun. I'm literally obsessed. Like it's a non-negotiable now at this point. Like on anything that I do, I'm like, I gotta get my classes in. Like 7 a.m. I'm showing up either on Zoom or in person. Like I gotta be there, It's the best.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad we're to connect. So, Jackie, tell us where to find out why.
So I have a website at www.jackieostick.com. And then I'm also at jackie.ostick on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm on TikTok, but I just kind of like lurk. I just watch things.
You just like listen to the gossip. Like, let's see what's the gossip side.
I'm looking for the gossip. I am ready for all of the DCC drama to start coming out. Like, I'm obsessed watching all of it,
Yes. Jackie, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Thanks for joining me on this episode of the What to Read Next podcast. If you enjoy our bookish conversations and want more recommendations, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, head on over to the What to Read Next blog for a list of books mentioned in today's show. Happy reading!